Everywhere I go, I'm lit. You can't tell me shit. Me and my plug friends with benefits. Make the money flip. I be Debo, you be Craig, nigga. Hit me with a brick. He don't charge me like I'm innocent. I make it make sense. You ain't run from the police with me. Don't call me when I'm running up my check. Cause I'ma treat your ass like a pest. And the last time I checked, real niggas supposed to die for their respect. So why you niggas ain't died yet? Closed casket if I hit him in his face. Niggas shooting in the air like they beefing without a space. Little nigga, I slide on your home like I'm safe. Take the shit as a joke, I be happy to demonstrate. Like hopping out with a stick, look like I'm holding a rake. Extorting these rapping niggas ain't nothing up for debate. These niggas can't eat unless C get a plate. Niggas can't get in the game unless C let them play.
Teens will spend more than 20 years in prison for robbing 5 high school students at gunpoint last spring.
The teenagers targeted students from Watkins Mill High School on their way back from lunch. Fox 5's Sarah Simmons joins us now with the story you will see only on Fox 5. Sarah? Jim and Sean, prosecutors say Shiloh Young and Tamario Gregg are part of a local gang and are calling today's sentencing a win for the community. Gregg was sentenced to 30 years in prison for his role in the robbery. Young was sentenced to 24 years in prison. Both have been in trouble with the law in the past. Young and Gregg stole cell phones, jackets, and shoes from students at Watkins Mill High School in Montgomery County as they walked home from lunch last spring. Police say they were able to track down the pair because Young recorded himself rapping on one of the stolen cell phones. That's the cell phone video that allowed investigators right there to track him down. Young is a local rap artist known as Simba. He has more than 2 million views on his YouTube channel. Police say the two are part of a local gang and they need to be behind bars.
This is a huge win for the community. The crime rate, that this organization, these leaders were overseeing and encouraging, it'll definitely put a dent in crime in the Gaithersburg, Montgomery Village area. And people should feel good about the sentences, knowing that 2 violent felons are off the street for a significant period of time.
And again, as I mentioned, both Gregg and Young have a criminal past. In 2016, Gregg was charged with possession of a firearm by a minor for his alleged involvement in a deadly shooting. In 2017, Young was charged with first-degree murder and attempted murder. He is still awaiting trial.
I'm thugging on back out shit. Fuck they man. Fuck y'all niggas man. I just touched back on the block. Tell her to pass me the glizzy and pour up the wop. They ain't believing a nigga. Ran it up fast on their yachts. Now I'm back in their shop. I'm in the booth.
Overlord Mafia.
YC, he wasn't even here that long, but YC was real out doing his thing when he was here, bruh. Just know, if you don't know nothing about him, he could have went to school and played ball, but he took the heart away like Penny. That's all I'ma say.
YC, whose real name is Wasi, was a rapper from Parkland, also referred to as Stanton Road, or Trap Flava, an apartment complex in SEDC, now named Huntington Village. YC was affiliated with Glizzy Gang, 2 to 5 Kentland Zoo, and Ruga Boys. He was getting a buzz in the DC area by uploading freestyles and his song Gangsta, and also his mixtape with Jose Glizzy titled Oh Dog Kane. On February 10, 2017, YC was killed during an attempted robbery in Montgomery Village, Maryland. It's rumored he was killed on accident by his men during the robbery. 4 suspects were arrested for his murder, including his friends and rapper Simba, who is from Montgomery Village. Simba ended up being proven innocent of anything to do with YC's murder and is now serving 25 years for a separate robbery. Hoods such as 2 to 5, Parkland, and 37th continue to keep YC's legacy going, along with his mother and father, who now run his Instagram page.
YC kind of reminded me of like the DC version of Meek Mill, you know what I'm saying? Like, he be rapping that stuff, that powerful stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it's really sad what happened to him, man. What I think happened to him is that he probably went on a robbery, and the person that they tried to rob ended up killing one of them, you know? And this is once again another rapper that was around Shy Glizzy and them, and the rapper ends up going to jail or ends up dead, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Shy Glizzy is bad luck, but I'm just saying any rapper that was around Shy Glizzy, man, where are they now? You know what I'm saying? Shy Glizzy's not like Lil Baby. You know, at least Lil Baby, he be having rappers signed to them and they be going somewhere. Like Lil Baby got Rilo, you know what I'm saying? But, man, and as for Simba ended up coming out of jail in like 2022. He beat the 24-year case. He ended up serving like 7 or 6 years. I don't know, but Simba is, I guess he's YBN Corday's half brother or something like that. So, you know, Simba got them Illuminati connections. Now I'm just playing YouTube. But yeah, man, rest in peace to YC, man. And check out Simba's music too. Free all the innocent and long live the fallen. I'm out.
I'm out here, I'm thugging, I'm back out here. Niggas mad. Fuck they mad for. Fuck y'all niggas mad for. I just touched back on the block. Tell I did pass me the glizzy and pour up the wop. They ain't believing a nigga. Ran it up fast on their yes, now I'm back in they
For about May 7th, 2024, within the District of Columbia, Shiloh Young, knowing they had previously been convicted in any court of a crime punishable by imprisonment for a term exceeding 1 year, owned, kept, and had within their possession. On or about May 7th, 2024, within the District of Columbia, Shiloh Young did unlawfully have in his possession a machine gun. Co-defendants: Diamond M. Key. On May 7th, 2024, 1 OFC Brennan was working the midnight tour within the confines of the District of Columbia using the callsign Car 143M. I was operating a fully marked United States Park Police cruiser and was attired in United States Park Police uniform. I was conducting routine traffic patrol along Independence Avenue SW. It is to be noted that Independence Avenues answered in the negative. Individuals will either, consciously or subconsciously, look towards the direction of contraband to verify its concealment. When stressed, I noted that Young specifically demonstrated this behavior when asked about the presence of weapons. I asked about the presence of marijuana. Young looked up at me and I noted his eyes were heavy and red. Young replied that he had just smoked in the vehicle and handed over the remnants of the suspected marijuana cigarettes. I noted the sudden change in behavior and Young's willingness to engage with me when the topic of conversation shifted away from weapons and to marijuana. Additionally, Young's gaze did not become fixated on the glove box as it had when questioned about the presence of weapons. Additionally, Young handed over the suspected marijuana in the passenger's door, which I confirmed to be commercially sealed marijuana consistent with dispensary packaging. I, again, asked Key for the paper registration to the vehicle. Key stated that she wasn't sure. I noted that Key looked in the center console of the vehicle and around the vehicle but didn't check the interior of the glove box. I asked Key if she thought the glove box might contain the vehicle registration. She stated that it did not. I asked Key if she might want to check it, as it may have inadvertently been placed in the glove box. Key did not. I explained to both Key and Young that my goal of the traffic stop was not to issue a citation, but to ensure compliance with District of Columbia Code. I voiced my concerns to both Key and Young that their unwillingness to check the glove box was very abnormal to me. Young became increasingly nervous, manipulating and twisting his hair. Fearful that there might be a firearm in the vehicle, I requested a cover unit respond to assist with the traffic stop. I asked Young to step out of the vehicle and asked for consent to pat his person for weapons. Young allowed me to pat, frisk him, yielding negative results. Young stood in the grass with OFC. Dugan and I reapproached Key in the driver's seat. I asked Key if there was anything in the glove box I needed to know about. Key was unable to maintain eye contact with me, but stated there was nothing. I asked Key to step out of the vehicle and voiced my concerns specifically about the glove box. I stated the following to Key: not being willing to look in the glove box for me, it's weird to me and makes me think there might be something in there that you don't want me to see. I asked Key, bluntly, if she had any capon. Instead of answering, Key replied with me, before looking away from me and finally answering no. I recognized this behavior from Key to be consistent with someone under stress presenting a fight or flight response. Know based on my training, knowledge, and experience that this behavior, in the context of a firearms investigation, is consistent with an individual illegally possessing and concealing a firearm. Tasked Key for consent to search the vehicle, which Key denied. I then explained to Key and Young that Independence Avenue SW was an area of federal jurisdiction and was subject to DC Code regarding public consumption of marijuana and federal marijuana narcotics laws. Further, I explained the authority vested in me as a federal officer and my duty to enforce both DC Code and federal law, to include federal narcotics laws. Hughes was detained in handcuffs and informed that he was detained. Immediately Young began yelling to Key, stating "I love you," which I noted as behavior typically exhibited by individuals placed under arrest, as they will be separated and transported. I noted this, too, to be extremely unusual, as Young knew he was being detained, leading the debate that he thought he would soon be arrested. I stated to Key that based on the reactions, behavior, and facts articulated above, that I was reasonably suspicious that there was presently a firearm in the vehicle and that I was going to conduct a frisk of the vehicle to confirm or dispel my suspicion regarding the firearm and ensure the safety of myself and assisting officers. I asked Key if there was a gun in the car. In the presence of both OFC Dugan and I, Key answered in the affirmative, with MHM. Key then changed her answer. Ken was detained in handcuffs. Tasked Young if it was in the glove box. Young did not respond, and instead looked away. Based on my training, knowledge, and experience, to include additional specified professional development training in the area of street patrol level firearms interdiction and characteristics behaviors of individuals illegally possessing and concealing firearms, I recognized the facts, behaviors, responses, reactions of both Key and Young to be consistent with individuals currently possessing and conceals a firearm. At this time, I developed reasonable suspicion, based on the facts, behaviors, responses, reactions articulated above, and Key's admission that there was presently a firearm within the vehicle that posed a substantial danger to officers on scene. Additionally, at that time, Key and Young were not under arrest and would ultimately been released to re-enter the vehicle at the conclusion of the traffic stop. Further, prior to accessing the vehicle, I particularized my suspicion to the glove box and only the glove box as the location of the firearm and voiced this particularized suspicion to Key, Young, and other officers on scene. Fearful for the safety of myself and other officers on scene, I conducted a protective frisk of the glove box, limiting my scope only and exclusively to the unlocked glove box. Upon opening the glove box, I confirmed my suspicions and observed what was immediately apparent to be a Glock-style handgun outfitted with a machine gun conversion device. The firearm was plainly visible without the manipulation of any other objects within the glove box. The firearm was photographed in place prior to being recovered by a gloved hand. It was determined that the recovered firearm was .23. Make, Glock. Model, 27 Gen 4. Caliber, .40 caliber. Chamber, 1 round in the chamber. Magazine, capacity of 31 rounds, containing 22 individual rounds of .40 caliber ammunition, attachments. Machine gun conversion device. Upon further inspection of the firearm, I observed what was apparent to be a machine gun conversion device, MCD, also referred to as an OTSEER switch, Glock switch, button, in or giggle switch. The following italicized information was obtained directly from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives in reference to machine guns. A machine gun is a firearm under the National Firearms Act, 26 U.S.C. $5,845. A machine gun is defined, in pertinent part, as any part designed and intended solely and exclusively, or combination of parts designed and intended for use in converting a weapon into a machine gun. 26 U.SC. $5,845. A Glock conversion device, commonly referred to as Glock switch or Glock autoseer, is a part, or parts, designed and intended for use in converting a semi-automatic Glock pistol into a machine gun. Therefore, it is a machine gun. The Gun Control Act, IS-USC 922, prohibits the transfer or possession of a machine gun manufactured after May 19, 1986. ATF is not aware of any Glock conversion devices that were developed before May 19, 1986. As such, Glock conversion devices are considered post-1986 machine guns. Therefore, They may only be lawfully possessed by properly licensed federal firearms licensees who have paid the appropriate special occupational tax required of those manufacturing, importing, or dealing in NFA firearms under the authority of the United States and any department or agency thereof, or a state or a department, agency, or political subdivision thereof. USC $922. Conversion is fast, simple, and requires little technical expertise. Most conversions typically involve removal of the original polymer slide cover plate and replacement with the conversion device. In some cases, the device may actually be attached to the existing slide cover plate. The conversion device is usually made of metal. The conversion process can take less than 60 seconds to complete. Conversion of a Glock pistol will result in a rate of fire of approximately 1,100 to 1,200 rounds per minute. The firearm appeared to be fully functional, designed to expel projectiles by the action of an explosive, has a barrel length of less than 12 inches, and is capable of being fired by use of a single hand. Young and Key were placed under arrest. Young then uttered, "She's not in trouble, right?" I confirmed that she was. To which Young uttered, "She don't need to be under arrest." Young was read his Miranda warning from a card I always keep on my person. Young uttered, "I don't want her to be in trouble," and invoked his rights, refusing to answer questions. I read Key her Miranda warning from the same card, at which time she invoked and refused to answer questions. A probable cause search of the vehicle was then conducted, searching for additional evidence pertaining to the firearm, the public consumption of marijuana, and the possession of marijuana on federal property. It should be expressly noted that the vehicle registration was inside the glove box. Confirming my original suspicions that the registration was in the glove box and that the apprehension to open the glove box observed behavioral cues, indicators, reactions, and responses were because it contained an illegal firearm. Additionally, the following was seized as evidence. From within a bag between Young's feet, clear knotted bag containing suspected marijuana 158. 1 Prams large Ziploc bag containing suspected marijuana 65.1 grams small Ziploc bag containing suspected marijuana 24.2 grams Dirty Chubby's dispensary bag containing suspected marijuana 6. Grams from the passenger compartment. Bamboo rolling papers, passenger side door 5, burnt hand-rolled marijuana cigarettes, center cup holder lighters, driver's seat, passenger's seat, rear of passenger compartment, and center console. Funnel tobacco. Young and Key were searched incident to arrest. $2,645 in U.S. currency was recovered from Young's person, with a majority of the denominations being $20, S10, and S5 bills. Young and Key were transported to the United States Park Police Central District Station for processing. A police records check determined that neither Young nor Key had a license to carry a pistol in the District of Columbia as required by law, and that neither Young nor Key had a pistol registered in the District of Columbia as required by law. Based on my training, knowledge, and experience, the sheer quantity of marijuana and quantity denominations of money recovered from Young's person is indicative of possession with intent to distribute marijuana, rather than mere possession. Young was also charged with public consumption of marijuana based on his admission, the odor of burnt marijuana, the recovered burnt marijuana cigarettes, and the recovered smoking paraphernalia, lighters, rolling papers, A portion of the recovered suspected marijuana cigarettes and portions of the recovered suspected marijuana were field tested, yielding positive color reactions indicating the presence of marijuana THC. A police criminal records check was conducted, which revealed that Young was sentenced 24 years after facing charges for his role in armed robbery, ATT. I-degree murder, armed robbery, and murder first degree in Maryland. Young was incarcerated for a period of 5 years. To note, Young was also arrested on firearm offenses in 2016. Young was charged with unlawful possession of a machine gun, USC 18 USC 0092201. Prohibited possession of certain dangerous weapons, DC 22 to 45,142. National Firearms Act, USC 26 USC 5811 5812. Felon in possession, DC 22 DC 4503A2. Carry pistol WO lie outside home business, DCC 22 DC 4504A1Y1. Possession of unregistered firearm, unlawful possession of a firearm or destructive device, DC 7 DC 2502.01. Possession of unregistered ammunition, DC 7 DC 2506.01, USC 07 DUSC 02506.01. Possession of a large capacity ammunition feeding device, DC 7 DC 2506.01. POS W to DIST marijuana fel, DCC 48 DC 904.01A1A2BV. While armed, DCC 22 DC 3202. Consumption of marijuana in public space prohibited, DC 48 DC 911.01. Young and Key were searched incident to arrest. $2,645 in U.S. currency was recovered from Young's person, with a majority of the denominations being $20, $10, and S5 bills. Young and Key were transported to the United States Park Police Central District Station for processing. A police records check determined that neither Young nor Key had a license to carry a pistol in the District of Columbia as required by law, and that neither Young nor Key had a pistol registered in the District of Columbia as required by law. Based on my training, knowledge, and experience, the sheer quantity of marijuana and quantity denominations of money recovered from Young's person is indicative of possession with intent to distribute marijuana, rather than mere possession. Young was also charged with public consumption of marijuana based on his admission, the odor of burnt marijuana, the recovered burnt marijuana cigarettes, and the recovered smoking paraphernalia, lighters, rolling papers. A portion of the recovered suspected marijuana cigarettes and portions of the recovered suspected marijuana were field tested, yielding positive color reactions indicating the presence of marijuana THC. A police criminal records check was conducted, which revealed that Young was sentenced 24 years after facing charges for his role in armed robbery, ATT. I-degree murder, armed robbery, and murder first degree in Maryland. Young was incarcerated for a period of 5 years. To note, Young was also arrested on firearm offenses in 2016. Young was charged with Unlawful possession of a machine gun, USC ISIS 0092201. Prohibited possession of certain dangerous weapons, DC 22 to 4514. National Firearms Act, USC 26 USC 5811 5812. Felon in possession, DC 22 DC 4503A2. Carry pistol WO lick outside home business, DC 22 DC 450401Y1. Possession of unregistered firearm, unlawful possession of a firearm or destructive device, DC 7 DC 2502.01. Possession of unregistered ammunition, DC 7 DC 2506.01, USC 07 DUSC 02506.01. Possession of a large capacity ammunition feeding device, DC 7 DC 2506.01. POS W to DIST marijuana fel, DCC 48 DC 904.01A1A2BV. While armed, DCC 22 DC 3202. Consumption of marijuana in public space prohibited, DCC 48 DC 911.01. Key was charged with unlawful possession of a machine gun, USC I-8 USC 00922201. Prohibited possession of certain dangerous weapons, DC 22 to 45142. National Firearms Act, USC 26 USC 5811 5812. Carry pistol WO lie outside home business, DCC 22 DC 4504A1Y1. Possession of unregistered firearm, unlawful possession of a firearm or destructive device, DC 7 DC 2502.01. Possession of unregistered ammunition, DC 7 DC 2506.01, USC 07 DUSC 02506.01.